Today, I'm going to show you how to make a classic green bean casserole from scratch. I'm going to make mine vegan and gluten-free, but feel free to switch out any ingredients that you want. This recipe has a little bit of a twist. Instead of focusing so much on canned soup, we're going to use mushroom stock to make the creamy base. I'm going to give you guys a rough approximation of the ingredients you'll need in the captions, but we're just going to kind of feel it out. I promise you're going to be better for it, and if you're not, just leave me a comment, So we're going to start with the most important part, taking a little snack break. Just have a couple of these crunchy little onions because they're pretty nice. I used to steal these from my mom before she would always make green bean casserole, so it's a rule. Got to do it. Okay, snack break over. Time to prep some green beans. So you're just going to start by pulling off the ends and then snapping them into little bite-sized pieces. I'm going to speed through this so you don't have to bear through it. Okay, time to brush off these dirty little mushrooms. There's a lot of dirt. You're going to see in a sec. Here you go. Whoa, dirty guys. When you chop your mushrooms, you're going to want to do about 2/4 inch thick slices. Or, you could just actually buy them pre-chopped. I don't know why I didn't. But, that'd be a great idea. All right, mushrooms are done and time to move on to the onion. We're just gonna chop off the ends here and then just take half the onion. I'm gonna do kind of a medium dice here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it in the thing, get it in the bowl, do what you need. And then we're gonna do the garlic. Just give it a nice mince and throw it in there with the onion. Trying to make this as simple as possible. Okay, prepping's all done. Put everything down, admire your work. And we're gonna start with getting some water on for the green beans, and then we'll move on to prepping that beautiful mushroom stock. Let's go. I already pre-boiled my water, but you can sit around and wait for yours if you want. So green beans in, and we're just gonna blanch them. I'm gonna go get my ice bath ready. We just happen to have fancy balls of ice in our freezer, so excuse that. I let these sit for about a minute, and then I just checked them for color and crunch, and they were pretty good. And time to take them out. Feel free to leave yours in a little longer if you want them even softer, but I like mine a little crunchy. Okay, I'm just gonna clean out that same pot and use it to make our mushroom stock. We're gonna throw them in there with no oil, just put them on in, add a splash of water, and then cover. And you're gonna see they're gonna release a lot of water. You wanna put these on like a medium heat. Just keep coming back to checking on these guys. And next we're gonna add a nice pinch of salt, just to give them a little flavor, generous, whatever, salt to taste. And as you see, they're gonna start to get sloppier. This whole process for the mushrooms is gonna take about 15 minutes, but it's well worth the time to make this. And they're very sloppy now. This is what you're looking for, kind of like a slop on down kind of feel, And look at all that juice. Look at Okay, I'm gonna call that done for the mushrooms, and we're just gonna move them aside, and we're gonna start on the stock. Grab 2 tablespoons of butter, any of your choosing. I really can't believe it's not butter. Wow, that's not butter, it's fake butter. I think that's what they call it, something like that. I couldn't be bothered to wait for the butter to melt, so we're just gonna throw in the onions and garlic and give it a stir. And we're gonna saute that for a little bit. While that's sauteing, we're gonna strain off the mushroom stock. Make sure you don't dump it down the sink. Also, in the video, I left a lot of mushroom, but I swear I went back and got those. Don't worry about it. I definitely put them in there. Okay, so you're gonna wanna squish all that juice out, get all the good juice. Done, good. Now we got that liquid gold umami. This is gonna be what we use to make our gravy. Once our onions are sauteed and translucent, we're gonna grab any flour of your choosing. I'm using Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 gluten-free flour. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons just like we did the butter, and you can always adjust later. A roux is pretty forgiving. Give it a little mix it all up nice. Okay, and it's looking a little dry. Like I said, a roux is pretty forgiving, so let's just add another tablespoon of butter. Once that's all incorporated, we're gonna take our mushroom stock and slowly pour it in, making sure that there are no lumps or chunks. Just get it fully incorporated with that. And just keep pouring little bits in until it's a nice looking gravy. I'm gonna add another little pinch of salt here just to help with flavor. And then we're moving on to something to make it a little creamy. I'm gonna use unsweetened soy milk. It's important to use unsweetened if you're using plant milk, just because you'll really taste the sugar in there if you don't. So I'm just gonna keep putting it in. We're gonna feel it out. We're gonna look for a certain type of texture here, a certain type of viscosity. Okay, this is looking hella creamy, hella silky. So I'm gonna add in the mushrooms now. I'd use a little hot pad here. The handle got really hot sitting next to that, and I touched it. We live and we learn. We die and we get burned, I guess. This wasn't creamy enough for me, so I'm just gonna add a little splash more of soy milk and just mix that in really well. Here's the best part. Here's the action shot. This is what you want it to look like. Creamy, smooth, nice. Should sound like a good pot of mac and cheese. The assembly. This is the stuff you can do with your kids. This is the fun part. All right, throw the green beans in those mushrooms and mix it really, really well. Make sure it's all coated, and then we're just gonna dump it in the pan. Make sure to push it down and spread it out all evenly before we end up topping it with all the goodies. I didn't include sliced almonds in the original list, but I really wanted them and I had them in the fridge. So I'm gonna put some sliced almonds and fried onions. I make the rules, and you can too. Be a little generous, you know, just add as many as you want. I'm not gonna lie and tell you that I didn't have another extra little snack and eat some more of these, but yeah, here we go, we're done. Time to put these in the oven. You're gonna set your oven to 375 and put them in for about 25 to 30 minutes. Green bean casserole complete. Time to admire your work. And you know I'm gonna be the first one to get at these. I definitely only had these for dinner that night. Yeah. And you can also take a little extra for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I hope you make them.